Everyone, how's it going? My name's Joe, and today I'm going to be breaking down why I think Email Bison is the best cold email sequencer out there. Now, when I say sequencer, what I mean by that is just any sort of automation tool that allows you to send out bulk emails and ultimately generate leads at scale for your business's offer. So, you're talking alternatives like Smart Lead, Instantly, Quick Mail. Smart Lead is a very, very good alternative, and I'm going to be mentioning that in the video today and just show you some of the features that you can adopt yourself if you are, currently a Smart Lead user. But yeah, the purpose of this video really is for anyone who's looking at Email Bison. Perhaps they've heard about it before, they're not sure about how it differs from other sequencers. I want to just put some content out there explaining what we like about it and why, in my opinion, I think it's the best sequencer that I've used up to this point. So to give you some context on who I am, my name's Joe and I run a cold email marketing agency, obviously, given that we're using Email Bison. We've been in business for about 3 years now, so we've used a different array of tools. We've obviously experimented on the LinkedIn automation side as well. So, we're talking your Hey Reaches, your Smart Leads, your Instant Leads, and now we are primarily just using Email Bison as the only software for actually sending out the content, if you want to call it that. So what I mean by content is emails, LinkedIn messages. We mainly just focus on email now and just using Email Bison to be able to do that. So I think another thing as well is that for any agencies looking at this, I think that using Email Bison and the benefits of using this tool have really allowed us to nail down our offerings and also support our marketing as well. Just mentioning that you use the product and its benefits and being able to market with that has also been a really great use case for us. It means that we can differentiate a little bit. Email Bison are obviously different to their competitors in the way that they do things, and we can sort of pick up on that with how we market ourselves as well. So it's been really beneficial, especially for an agency use case. And yeah, in today's video, I just want to go over some of the key things that we really love about it, and just show you a few of the comparisons and give you some other options as well. Because like I said, I think this video is not to take away from Smartlead and the great things that those guys are doing. I think Smartlead is an excellent tool and a very close second to Email Bison. We use Smartlead for just coming up to a year and a half, I think. So a lot of experience with that platform, and the team over there are great, and I wouldn't say a bad word about them. I think for us, the reason that we pivoted was mainly to get a more robust API. We're quite development heavy, and Email Bison's API is just so much stronger, which I'm going to be mentioning a bit more about in today's video as well. So without further ado, I think I'm going to focus on maybe the 4 key things that for me are, what would I term it as? Just, the reasons why Email Bison is a non-negotiable moving forward for us with our agency. So I think the first reason that we obviously need to mention is the privatisation of it as an infrastructure. So the first thing is that you can't actually access the tool unless you qualify. So you have to go through a qualification call with the team to make sure that you actually know what you're doing. And that means that you can't just sign up. That means that the people who are using Email Bison are qualified users who know what they're doing, and it means that your sender reputation and that your sender habits that you've built up a load of knowledge around aren't going to get tarnished by users who perhaps don't have as much knowledge or as good a practices as you do. So when you make it through that sort of qualification process, you're going to get your own privatized infrastructure. So I'm talking, your own OAuth setup for you, your network isolation, as you mentioned. I don't need to explain this. You can go to their website and you can learn about it here. But ultimately, for the sake of this video, the simplification of it is that you will get your own privatized infrastructure to send outreach from. Close second to this is obviously Smartlead's smart servers, which again is why, in my opinion, I think Smartlead is a real close second for us, because this is basically very similar to what Smartlead are doing here with smart servers. But again, Email Bison just have that next level really in terms of the control and ownership, I guess, that you have over your own. It ultimately is your own cold email sequencer, which I think is awesome. So yeah, that's how I would explain the sort of privatization of it. And the second point again is the API. So we use Superbase, Lovable, all these brilliant apps that now ultimately allow you to just build web applications with AI without masses of coding experience. I'm sure a few people may have heard the term vibe coding, and if you do want to create sort of sub products or mini products or web apps for your clients, to be able to manage their own campaigns, or have build a really easy way for clients to be able to respond to their leads, get back to them, book meetings, whatever you want to build for your clients, we made the move to email Bison so that we could get more freedom with that. A big part of our agency's offerings is that we want to be quite flexible for our clients, in the sense of our offerings are usually, a strict retainer where it's a managed service. You come to us, we'll manage your cold email for you using email Bison, using our knowledge. The second offering is then our smaller ticket package. So that is a setup fee. We'll build your system in email Bison, and then using our best practices and our system that we've built using the Bison API on the back end, that ultimately allows users through us and through our consultation. We're not just going to let you upload anything. Obviously, there's still going to be that qualification element there, even with us. But we will give users the ability to ultimately engage us with a setup fee. We'll build you the system out in email Bison, and then you can use the web app that we've built using Bison's API to ultimately, if you want to, have that DIY element in place to be able to manage your own campaigns internally moving forward. So we see a lot of the time that often customers will run campaigns, and this isn't just with us, this is across the industry in general. A customer will engage an agency to set them up some sort of outreach campaigns, and then maybe 4 to 5 months down the line, they perhaps want to internalize that. So they maybe have a few hires, they've learned a bit more about what the agency is doing, and they're looking at ways, which is completely fair, to then go and internalize that process so that they can continue managing it in-house, but also save a fair chunk of budget month to month. So I think that the way that we've set up our setup product is it's quite it just gives that bit of flexibility and a bit more, I guess, a path to actually go and do that. Like, instead of us hiding away from that and going, oh no, we don't want you to churn from us, fucking hell, what we're actually doing is we're saying, well, you can engage us on a setup fee, and then if the path is right for you to then internalize it, we make it really easy for you to be able to do that, and there's no quarrels from us on that. If you have the internal resources, we'll make sure that you're qualified to be able to do it first, obviously, but if you have the internal resources to be able to do that, then of course we can make that happen for you. So that that's just a bit more evidence in terms of why, for me, Bison is a non-negotiable for us, because it gives us that flexibility through our agency, and what we can actually offer to our clients. It allows us to diversify. It allows us to have more flexibility with the API, which I absolutely love, and it gives me a lot of drive. And I mean, I'm not going to use the M word, motivation, but it gives me a lot of drive and vision for where I really want to see our company going and how we can serve our clients into the future. So I think, again, from an agency use case, for me, it really is a non-negotiable. Obviously, they brand as being a sequencing software for agencies, and they really do live up to that name. There's just a lot more features out there specifically for the agency themselves compared to other tools. And again, I think Smart Lead is amazing, but the thing that you have to realize is that with Smart Lead, you've got like agencies, and then you've also got like an entry-level business who doesn't really know much about cold email, who's just setting up their first campaign. And I think what I've found is that obviously Smart Lead can't serve everyone. Do you get what I mean? Whereas Bison advertise themselves and advocate as being a agency-specific product, but they're also, again, the whole qualification element is they're great for agencies, But if you are a really established company with multiple offers, there are a lot of people in these communities as well, in the Bison community, who don't necessarily have to be an agency, but they're just a really well established company who understand cold email, it's working for them, and they want to take it to the next level. So again, for me, that's like a pretty solid overview into why I think email Bison is just that. That just gives us that edge, compared to using other sequencers. Now, what I obviously want to do is just share with you some of the results that we get in terms of our deliverability, some of the results that we've been getting for our clients as well, with using email Bison as our sequencer. So on average, just to give you some context, the way that we measure deliverability with our campaigns is we don't track open rates. We use two things to measure deliverability. We use reply rates and we use inbox placement tests, and as the two measures of deliverability on our campaigns. And you can see here, so this is just a few campaigns for a client. You can see the average response rates here, which are really, really good. Like our KPI is at a minimum, we want to see a 6% reply rate. And you can see that this one has almost tripled that. But it's not even about the best performing campaigns. I think for me, it's more the consistency. It's the consistency that we can launch a campaign, apart from this one that I made a bit of a boo-boo on, but we won't talk about that. But for the most part, you will consistently be able to hit the reply rates that you need to be hitting to keep your clients and keep them happy. And for me, just that extra layer of trust and consistency is a real, just like a quality of life thing as well. It's just like, I trust that we can run a campaign in Bison, use our SOPs, use our best practices, and it's going to be, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be able to do well off the bat. So this is why I think it's great for people who do have knowledge of cold email, because you want to be putting all your knowledge into a sequencer that gets you, and that will, it's like, it's the same principle as like the more you put in, the more you get out. Like, I feel like these other tools, great as they are, there's almost like a top limit. You know what I mean? Like with Smart Lead and Instantly, there's almost like a top limit where you can actually take things. Whereas I feel like Bison gives you that extra, like, if you're really serious about making cold email work, this is the place to like really like test yourself. So yeah, just in terms of reply rates, consistency for our clients, I think it also makes it even more of a non-negotiable. Let me just show you a few more clients so that you can see some consistency. Here you can see just another few campaigns. You can see again really solid reply rates. This client has been launched for about, I think, a month and a half now, I believe, maybe just a little bit less than that, and we've already got a load of really solid leads that have come through. A lot of these leads are also really great timing as well, which is obviously ideal when you're launching campaigns for clients off the bat. If you can get a few of those, ready now unicorns off the bat, then it's really solid to be able to get a few of those ticked off. So again, you can just see a bit of consistency here across another client. And now I just want to talk about some of the main features of it. So what are some of the features that you can expect to be using actually within the Bison platform? So let's now get into that. Okay, so this is our test account here. I'm just going to be showing you the features. Self-explanatory really, you've also got your main dashboard. This is a compilation of all the campaigns that you're running. So you can see 10 days, 30 days, and then also custom ranges as well. This is great for client reporting, and again, with the API at your back, you can also pull all this information really easily into your own web apps that you've designed specifically for your clients. Contact management, super easy, and whenever you import contacts into Bison, it's really cool that you will then also get the ESP tagged for you. And the reason that this is beneficial is because when you're adding contacts into a campaign, it makes it really easy for you to be able to differentiate between Google recipients and Outlook recipients. So usually the way that I'll do this is I will segment our campaigns into Google and Outlook of the same audience, and then I can just come to my contacts tab here, toggle by Google. I've missed it. Toggle by Google. and then you'll be able to just select all and then add these to the campaign really easily. So, and then again, like I said, you can then just do the same for Outlook, Barracuda, Proofpoint, whatever. It's really easy to just be able to do that. So I think contact management, one thing about Bison is all the features that they build are with a deliverability mindset top of mind. So a lot of the features that you will see are just purely to help you get as better deliverability as possible. So throughout this, some of the things I'm going to show you, just keep that in mind. That's really what the guys at Bison are building this for. Campaign management then, pretty self-explanatory. Obviously you've got contacts in here, sequence, Spintax compatible as well. Pretty much the same Spintax pattern as any other sequencer out there. You've got your variables, just a very simple, easy to use interface really for setting up campaigns. Send test email obviously, just to make sure that everything's structured okay. Nice and simple, nothing really to say about that. Scheduling, you can save these as templates as well. Settings, plain text toggles, emails per day, turn off open tracking. Again, nice and simple. Add your email accounts in, launch campaigns, and then when you have launched a campaign, your campaigns, you'll then also be able to use the inbox placement test feature. So Bison have a sub-product called Email Guard, which is brilliant. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to focus on Email Bison for now. But you can bring in your Email Guard API key and then run inbox placement tests on your campaigns directly using the Email Guard API. So really easy one here. If you want a video about inbox placement tests, if you want me to break them down on a sort of deliverability specific level, then let me know and I can make another video just going over Email Guard, because again, it's another thing that we use religiously on the day-to-day in our campaigns. So in terms of other features then, obviously master inbox is quite self-explanatory because of the API. It's very easy for you to be able to build things using this as well. So in our web app, we've ultimately built a completely fresh master inbox. Email accounts, again, very self-explanatory, just upload your email accounts into there. The warm-up algorithm is really good, so all you have to do is just set it to warm, and Bison have an algorithm that will do all this for you. So you can just set your accounts to warm up, and you can ultimately just leave things, and you can trust that the warm-up process will just happen for you automatically. So I know that some sequencers, they will get you to sort of play around with things a little bit more. Bison, again, they have an algorithm. Their best practices, you can set it to warm up. The only thing that we tend to change is just the daily limit. So if we're sending to Outlook, for example, we might want to send a few more warm-up emails in the day. But for the most part, you don't really have to touch this part. You can just set your accounts to active. And we've seen in just doing that, you can achieve the reply rates that I just previously showed you. And then you've just got all your settings in here. So very self-explanatory. There's nothing much really to mention about the actual features themselves. And I think that is a good place to leave things. So that was my overview of Email Bison, some of the reasons why I think it's the best sequencer out there in the market currently. Again, to actually get into this sequencer, you will need to be qualified. We have good relations with the guys at Bison, so if you think that you are qualified, you have really good knowledge of cold email, you're technical, and you want to take things to the next level, you can drop me a message, and then I will put you in touch with the team. And if you do want help with a managed service as well from an agency who uses Email Bison on the day-to-day, then you do obviously also have that option with us. If you want to learn more about the two types of products that we have, really easy to understand, let me know and I can send over some information to you, and then we can see if it makes sense to get on a meeting and make things a bit more specific to your business. Either way, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this sort of content, feel free to drop a subscribe down there. I'm not some YouTube influencer, but it would be good to know, based on subscribers, if people do actually find this content interesting. So if you do, feel free to just drop a subscription. and I'm going to be posting some more content about this sort of stuff moving into the future. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.